We're out here on the under 23 cross country up towards Crockslide, section named Baywatch Corner. Look at these legends here. Welcome back. It's day 3 of Rainbow Warriors with what's your name? Vandy. How are you, mate?
We're your warriors for the day. We are going for the behind the scenes action. Today is all about the cross country. We've got under 23 women. We've got the the age group.
So elite men and women, and downhill last day of practice.
Yeah, so it should be wild. It's already super hot here and it's very dusty. And how are the whoops this year?
Well, they're mellowed down, so I'm like, my heart is pounding every time coming into it. But
You've broken a bone on there before, haven't
I
you?
broke my arm. And
Oh God, don't be too sad.
no, people are putting bets on.
No.
Will I make it through this
You'll
year?
be fine. You'll be
So
fine.
far, so good.
We're going to do a little bit of tech here, because I just noticed that Shelley's running a 2.8 front tyre, which is kind of interesting. So, yeah, running plus size tyres. Has that been pretty good here? Yeah.
Maybe a credit card.
It definitely wouldn't work in the mud, but yeah, that's awesome. Here we are, under 23 women's cross country start. They're all getting called up. Nerves are going to be high, and about to head out on the dusty course.
I love the heartbeat start. I've just come to get prepared.
Just elevate the heart rate. You don't even need a trainer after this.
It's really good to have the under 23 girls on before us, and we've got a couple of good Aussies there and a couple of my good friends, so I've come to cheer them on. And they're off. Australians last, second last, third last.
Well, we just don't have very good world ranking. They'll be up there at the finish. Don't worry about that.
I've got some good Aussie fight in them.
Oh, there's my girlfriend.
Oh, yeah.
Your girlfriend's racing. You're getting some motivation for the pedal for the finish of the downhill. No
You
distraction.
took your shirt off to give her motivation? Yeah.
There as well, Harry Batten.
Yeah, everyone's sort of saying it's a tough downhill because 2 pedal strokes and you're straight into a tough corner. And
Yeah, it's definitely really physical, and it's just going to be who wants it the most out there, I think, and it's going to make for some good racing for sure.
no semi-slick or lockout or anything?
No, I actually tried to cut tyre in Leo Gang this year.
Yeah.
And then ended up doing a 360 in my race run, so
Okay, we'll leave that.
knobs on this time, eh?
How'd yesterday fare for you?
Not the best of my time run, actually. I kind of just wanted to cruise down and not use too much energy, and end up just making a lot of stupid little mistakes and just washing the back end out and just stopping, which was a bit annoying. But I think you ride this stuff, you just kind of got to attack it and ride normal. I think if you do anything different, you're going to make more mistakes. So
And how's the track holding up?
it's kind of gotten to a point now where I think it's just going to stay almost the same. It's pretty beat up, but I don't think it's going to get that much worse. It's just the top turns could go either way, but everywhere else is kind of fine.
So staying pretty consistent from now on, you think?
Yeah, from the turns down, it's all the same, but it's just those top turns kind of keep getting a bit worse, which we'll see how it goes tomorrow.
Unreal, mate. Any changes to the bike?
Just put a lockout on it for that death pedal at the bottom, but besides that, just it's stock standard. I've been I actually lock out about 3 times during my run. The 2 uphills in the middle, I lock it out, and then at the bottom pedal, I just lock it out and pedal away.
It was brutal. It was just a dust bowl, but it was a nice dust bowl if you get me.
No, awesome work. I mean, we went out and watched on track, and it looked like anywhere short of being right at the front, you were just riding in clouds of dust.
Yeah. That's where I'd like to ride, really. I'm in my element there, sneaking up. There's lots of people crashed around me, so I thought maybe, I don't know, it was something to do with me. But nah, honestly, I was really stoked with my ride. I got a few unlucky crashes on the start just around me, but honestly, it was, I kept it clean, which was, really good.
Good skills, I guess.
Oh, yeah, you know.
About to hear the Australian national anthem. Let's hear it.
Australia's when true choice for we
are. I think your first Worlds was the year after the 96, 97?
Yeah, 97 Saturday.
So it gives you an idea of how long this guy's been killing it for. 20 years and at the top of, not just the top of his game, the top of everyone's game. So obviously you've been asked it plenty of times, but the track's running okay?
Yeah, it's super hard. It's straight out the gates. You don't even get into your race. First few corners are probably one of the toughest. So it's a really tough track to master. That first corner is probably the toughest corner on the track. So it's and you're nervous, you're tense, you're tight. So you try and relax and just roll out the gate, get the first corner done, and then start to pick up some rhythm.
Yeah.
Yesterday was kind of an indication of the speed. Mick was so unbelievably fast. But to try to get on that pace today would be key. Yeah.
Yesterday, obviously fastest in time runs. Obviously a nice feeling for you.
Yeah, it was a good feeling. I was actually kind of hoping and aiming not to get fastest, so that was a bit of a surprise. But it was, really kind of reinforced my confidence and just trying to chill. And if I do my run, I'll be happy. I mean, yesterday there's not a lot of weight behind it because it's just a time session. You never know what everyone's doing, but it's also like the first chance to really get a time and with the pressure on.
We can't show anyone any images, but you're on a pretty special looking bike, and that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, Polygon's been just so supportive of us over the last few years, and we've developed the DH9 that we had, and that's the best bike I've ever had. And now we're going through that process again, and I'm able to be on the next installment of the Polygon downhill bike, and just loving it.
And to be racing at home, obviously I did it 21 years ago, and I remember what a nice feeling it was to sleep in your own bed and have all familiar things around. Obviously it's the same for you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Just where I found mountain bikes and where the passion grew originally, and to be back here with all the friends that I've got on the circuit, and also to introduce all those people to my family and friends here, and for everyone who's supported me for so long, to be able to be at a race and see the whole what goes on, is just awesome. And just leaving mum and dad's now, you got to tie up the dog before you get to go to practice. It's a bit of a weird feeling, but it was my dream since I was a kid. I did an interview when I was 10 years old, and they said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And I said, "I'm going to make money riding my bike." And I didn't know what mountain bikes were then, but or what money was actually. But so to be here, that's 23, 24 years later, and still at the top of the sport that I love so much is amazing. I think if I have the run that I expect to have, then I'm probably not going to lose.
And obviously your sister third yesterday in time runs. She's got to be stoked as well.
Yeah, Tracy's feeling really good.
Yeah.
And, she still lives here. I live in Colorado now, so she has a bit of pressure on and a lot of attention. So she's been trying to lay low, but I'm really confident that she can do it as well, and that'll just be a dream for us to be able to do the double,
Yeah, the matching rainbows.
Yeah, that'd be unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right, I just struggled on the bottom section in the roots. I just had a few mistakes and a few little stalls, but other than that, it was a fairly solid run. Times are really tight, so I wasn't too far off a top 10 sort of thing. So
you don't normally struggle with the roots either, from what I've heard.
So no comment.
So UCI are inspecting for motors in the bikes, and I think Peter actually has one. Did they find your motor?
Good news, I snuck the motor through.
Peter's telling us you got a good motor. And she's a lot of viewers write in and ask why you guys are wearing life jackets.
Or in Cairns, it could flood, it could fire. These are our special ice vests. It's really cool. It's the first year that MTBA have sort of been able to get them on hand for the championship, so we're pretty excited, yeah.
It makes a difference?
Oh, I don't know, yeah, it asked me after the race. Yeah.
But it obviously feels cool to wear.
Yeah, and I feel skinny when I take it off, which is really important, so yeah.
So no motor in your bike?
No motor today. I wish I did.
Yeah.
The only motor I've got is my legs.
I'm sure they'll be good.
Yeah, I had a fall down Jacob's ladder and lost a bit of confidence on it, so we'll see how it goes today.
How's the cooling vest?
Oh, it's lovely. Yeah, it's really nice.
There's no cuts allowed. I can't wait to start hyping up the crowd as I knight through the maze, heading right to the stage. I'ma serve up the mic like a rice bolognese.
Brutal course out there. We're just doing a bit of spotting on some bikes. A few girls running dropper posts, similar to what you would on an enduro bike. So it shows how tough some of the descents are and how technical it's going to be. So interesting setups for sure.
We're here in the feed zone. What's it all about?
Getting their bottles and making sure that we take care of any mechanicals. Fingers crossed we don't have any of those. Obviously a really hot day, really important that they get that hydration in, and the girls are all really well tuned on their bodies these days, and they know what they need to do, and they certainly get it down.
The Swiss are feeding about 10 metres up, so the Swiss riders are pretty drilled. They know what they're doing. They grab a bottle before they throw their old one, so every time they get a bottle, they're dropping it about 10 metres down and they're hitting us every time, so might have to go and have words, I reckon.
It's absolutely crucial. I mean, if they don't get any liquid in, I mean, they're basically having carbohydrates and electrolytes, but basically they just dehydrate and just blow up. When they miss a feed, the psychological effect on them is just absolutely devastating. It's like the end of the world. You just see all the life fall out of them. It's never going to happen again.
Yeah, it's a tough race. I think something to do with the heat and the exposure. Like, just from go to woe, it sort of felt like I was dying. So that's always a tough way to race, but that's how it is, so you got to do it.
You gave us quite a good summation of how you're feeling when you came before. You just want to tell us how what it was all about?
I think to summarise, I said I was maybe changing disciplines to one that doesn't require riding up hills.
I think you actually said, this, I'm doing downhill.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah, you basically can't drink enough. Like, your body's not even going to absorb enough, so you just drink as much as you can, as constantly as you can, and hope you don't bonk.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, you hardtail or full suspension?
Full suspension and dropper post, the way it should be.
Feel good today. I think I've got all of my lines dialed out there, so yeah, I just need to focus on finding form for that climb. One of the most technical courses in Australia, also my favourite course, so yeah, I think today in front of a home crowd it's going to be awesome out there. I've gone for the full suspension. I came up here with a hardtail and Specialized sent me up one of the new Epics, bit of a surprise, so I love it out there. It's it's handling the course really well.
Unreal, mate. And any special tweaks or anything to the bike, or?
Did a few laps with my shock whiz on the back shock and the front forks, just trying to get my my suspension dialed in as best I can, and yeah, it's just ready to go straight out the box basically.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. I guess the day's finally here. It's been a long time coming, so just trying to stay nice and cool and sort of just keep it as per usual, and hopefully go out there and have a pretty solid day. I'm descending pretty well on this track, and once you get sort of down Jacobs onto Caterpillars, everyone's very much the same speed, so there's probably only 1 second difference really between someone just sort of cruising and someone really pushing it. So yeah, I've opted for the hardtail, so yeah, I think it's a good bike of choice as long as you're sort of fit enough to go the full distance.
We have Glenn Jacobs, who is, in these parts, a god and pretty much the godfather of mountain biking. And realistically, the reason this race is here today, mainly Glenn was really responsible for bringing the first World Cups here.
There's this UCI official was going to come over and have a look at the site, and it was Patrice Durin from Mont Saint Anne. Never met Patrice before. He landed in town and went to have a look at everything. But about a week or two before that, we thought, well, we can certainly show him this, but why don't we show him that? What Cairns is all about. When he came, we said, all right, today we're going to have fun. We're going to go for a mountain bike ride. We're going to go have a look at the hills. We're going to go to the reef. And really? Yeah. So we started off and we went up in a train that went to Kuranda. We got on a mountain bike and we rode out and came down Cliftons down the bottom to a golf course. We had smoko at this golf course. A helicopter landed. He's gone, what is this doing here? I said, this is for us. We jumped on the helicopter in the air. We flew out to the reef. We went out to Fitzroy Island and had a couple of beers. He said, this is beautiful. I said, it's not over yet. See this boat? And this World Championship ocean racing boat pulled into the shore. We all piled onto that. We went from there out to even further out the reef, Michaelmas Cay. We went snorkeling and everything like that. We had a cameraman with us that filmed the whole thing. And then from there, we came into near Yarrabah, one of the beaches there. And this guy was just like, I don't know what to say. He said, you have the race. I said, yeah, but we haven't been to the vent site yet. I don't care. You have the race, I think it's going to be good, We got back here. We came out and had a look at the site. We rode around a little bit more, and he was just frazzled. Patrice drew in and said, There's nothing like this in the world.
I've got Evan Winton here.
Never heard of him.
He's one of the local trail shredders here. What's this section here, mate?
This is Crockside, and then into Jacob's Ladder a bit further down.
Pretty tough section on a hardtail cross-country bike.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't give it a go, mate. No. I'll stick to the 6-inch.
What about after a couple of beers, you might?
Oh yeah, you'd give anything a go, wouldn't you?
Mate, it's just like a right-hander into a very steep, long chute. It's quite slippery, so it's hard to slow down into a tough left-hander. So I've seen a few over the bars, and I'm sure we'll see more. It's good to see so many people up here making the trek into the bush and sweat and dust and getting it done. Awesome for all the racers, to get cheered on.
It's just something that you can't replicate anywhere else, and you train for hours and hours for this moment. So yeah, I hope they all enjoyed it.
The amount of spectators cheering for the Aussies, like they just see the jersey and they go nuts. So it definitely helps on the climbs. It's a lot of fun going down the downhills. The screams were loud, so I guess we were doing something right. But yeah, it was a lot of fun out there.
Back at you, bloody guru. Give me a hug in your icy man vest. Oh, it's pretty cool actually.
Yeah, it doesn't feel so cold. Still a bit cooked. But with the climb being sort of so tight, it's really hard. And then the flat section where you sort of want to rest, that's sort of the spot where you need to actually make the passes. So it's sort of like you make the passes to move up, but you're actually sort of wasting a fair bit of energy compared to someone who can just sit on. So it's a really hard sort of way to move up. But to get into the top 10, I'm really happy with that, and really good way to finish the season. And the last couple of months have finally started to click for me, and to finish it off here in Cairns in front of all the family and friends and everyone who's supported Beck and Dan this year. So yeah, it's really cool, and something that I'm really happy just to be able to have a good race in front of them. Everyone who's supported us this year. So yeah, stoked.
I love cross country, mate. It's the most amazing sport.
Are you with the other bearded guys over there?
Yeah, those guys there, I seem to recall there was a little bit of,
negativity towards cross country.
Well, they were talking about bars, but at the end of the day, we're only talking about carbon bars and the width of bars.
So you were bluffing yesterday when you said you're only here for the downhill?
Purely here for the mountain bike sport. Love the mountain bike sport.
Awesome,
really
mate.
Good. Thank you so much.
So I was in the commentary booth doing the national television broadcast. But I'm hopefully going to be back tomorrow so we can cover the downhill. The cross country was epic today, though.
Shirt a perfect season. I mean, what more can you say?
Well, he said he's at the prime of his career, but he can't actually match what he did this year unless he just wins everything again, which is highly unlikely. So, yeah, I think he's going to be out on the dance floor later tonight, ripping it up. He's a bit of a wild man after World Champs, I can tell you that much for free.
Good to see, and obviously Neff dominated the women's in pretty good style.
Yeah, Neff was on the comeback train after a World Cup in Val d'Isole, but she'll be at the party too. The cross country is actually party harder than the downhillers. Try and call me out on it. Come out tonight and you'll see.
All right, well, we'll be back again tomorrow.